I was definitely yawning the whole time in my fucking job. My boss was like, yo, you look tired. I'm like, I am fucking tired. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, like, I'm fucking human. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, like, this is not my life. I'm sorry. Alright, so, hi guys, what's up? My name is Yvette Santana, a new LGBTQ author. I'm a poet. So right now, all I'm doing is trying to express my voice and express my art through poetry. And I'm trying to do something special for the gay community, especially because I feel like not only are poets underrated, I feel like the entire gay community is underrated as far as how much talent we bring to the table and how diverse we are and how much we can do. So that's pretty much my story. I just released 2 books. My first book is called 50 Shades of Tasting Her. Yes, you heard me correctly. 50 Shades of Tasting Her. Super gay, super sex, super involved with love, lust, also has a little taste of BDSM, also has a little taste of falling in love, you know, all of that good shit, good stuff. But it also has a point where I wanted to involve emotions and trigger every ounce of emotion that's humanly possible. So I trigger love, lust, I trigger happy, I trigger horny, I trigger every little piece of everything that makes me who I am as a poet. So what my book is about is it's a poetic novel, which is very different and unique in a sense that you only either hear of poetry or you only either hear of novels. There's not really poetic novels out there. So what that means is I have poetry pieces inside of one book that contains one storyline. So the storyline is of 2 females exploring their sexuality with each other, exploring their boundaries, testing who they are, who they want to become, but doing it together. And I feel like it's important to find that kind of companionship, and it is okay to leap into falling in love, and it is okay to test new boundaries. As far as that's why I included BDSM in there, because for the simple fact of we are pretty much as females especially shamed into hiding our sexual beings and hiding who we are and hiding who we want to explore to be. So I decided to write this book because I wanted to tell my story, but also because I wanted anybody and everybody else to know that they had to be comfortable with exploring their sexuality, and it is okay to be open with your sexuality and with who you are and who you want to be with as well. Because in my story, the couple follows, I wouldn't say my exact relationship, but I would say it does have parts to do with who I am with and what I am doing for myself. So like I said, it's my story and I wanted to share it because I also know that people go through the same things that I go through and they just aren't speaking about it. As you see, I have my own personal shirt on. You have to be your own biggest fan. That's rule number 1. Support yourself to the fullest. So my shirt, I made it myself personally. Picked off the picture, took myself. The artwork I did myself, the tie-dye I did myself, the cuts I did myself. So I completely designed the shirt on my own. The main thing that I did was order the printed picture. I did it through like Vistaprint and like all of those other business websites and stuff like that. But I did the cut myself, the tie-dye myself, and I did it to promote my book. So this was for my first book's release, 50 Shades of Tasting Her Volume 1. And I have 2 books currently, but this was my main first promo that I wore to Gay Pride actually, because I figured it'll catch a lot of people's eye. It's really bright and vibrant. I also wanted to show that my book is more than just a book. To me, it's more than just a book. It's a brand and it is who I am. So I wanted to show that off. So I have my title right here, my picture right here, and then in the back I have a quote from the book, and then I also have my Instagram, which is tinies_creation_. That's my personal Instagram account. So yeah, it's just a way to show off my book and be proud of who I am and what I'm doing with my book. My whole plan with this is to continue writing as a poet. The main reason why I started with the sexual outlet is because we are a sexual-based inclined society, and it's not even sad to say, it is what it is. People would rather hear more about sex than love. So I had to figure out a way to combine both, to create something and to create a movement as to where I can help publish my poetry. I don't only write about sex, but I am a sexual being and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of my sexuality, and that is the point of this book. So mainly what I've been doing to kind of get myself out there is beyond the limits of what other people do. So as you see, I did shirts, I've done flyers, I'm doing stickers for my event. I'm supposed to be getting a poster in. So I'm doing a lot of different things to try and help promote my book as well as promote myself as a poet. So I also am hosting a book event at Bronx Native at the end of this month on August 24th. Starts at 9:00 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And that book event, I'm getting to do a book release for my second volume that's coming out, 50 Shades of Tasting Her Volume 2. So I'm actually trying to just push this book as far as I feel like it can go, because when I first started in April, I only sold about, I would say, no more than like 5 copies with my first couple of weeks of being out. Then in May, it turned into, I sold 10 copies at my job, I sold 5 copies online, I sold, so it was just a growing process. And now here I am at the release of my second book, and I've sold over 60 to 70 copies of my first book in the first 2 months alone. So seeing how successful I can be, I feel like I'm gonna push this as far as it can go and as far as I'm willing to take it. Because I feel like my audience, I've already grasped their attention. There's always things that I can do to amp my game up, and I'm always trying to learn different ways, create different connections. So as far as me just publishing one book and then stopping, or publishing this and then not continuing to write, no, that's not at all gonna happen. Whether I decide to release a volume 3 or not, I'm still a poet, I'm still a writer, I'm still going to pursue my poetry career. One of the main reasons I drove this book so intensively is for this reason. Being a lesbian female, even in today's society, I'm pretty sure it was even harder back then, but me personally, being alive in this day and age and being a lesbian, we receive enormous amounts of hate. Not only for being a lesbian, but because you as a female cannot expose your sexuality. You are supposed to be ladylike, you are supposed to be all of these kind of things, all of these labels that I feel like is bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, why should you have to live in a certain way and accommodate yourself to please everybody else that's, in other words, hating on you? Like, you shouldn't have to do that. So I could walk down the street, like you see how I'm dressed right now, I have a crop top, like muscle tee, I have my pants hanging down, like I have boxers on. Even walking down the street, I'll get dirty looks, or I'll get like disgusted looks, and it's just like, you just have to be stronger than that. You have to know that you are doing something powerful, you are somebody powerful. And to all, not even just the gay community, but to every individual who feels like they are hated on and they are judged, it's only going to get worse. But you are even more powerful because you have caused somebody to feel uncomfortable because you are being who you are. And it should not be like that, but it is what it is. And I feel like you should, no matter what, be proud of who you are, especially being like like I said, a female in the lesbian community. My book was also like a powerful statement because I'm open with my sexuality. I'm like breaking all of the rules and all of the boundaries of what a female is supposed to be. I'm open with my sexuality. I'm talking about eating pussy. I'm talking about tying girls up. I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about all of these different things and all of these different aspects of being a female that nobody is used to. And I feel like that's another reason why so many people are intrigued by the book, because it's just like, wow, no other person, or if anybody else is doing this, they're not so comfortable being so open about it. And I feel like that's one of my strong suits, that I am so open about it, and that no matter what kind of hate I do receive, I'm still going to be who I am, and I'm still going to be proud of who I am no matter what. I would definitely say that it's not only a positive thing that comes with being so open about your sexuality. There are some downfalls, in a sense of not everybody is like that. So you are gonna always have those people that look at you that kind of certain way. But then another downfall is people would have the misconception that I am only about sex. And that's why I had mentioned before that I am a poet that writes about different kind of things. So I am not only about sex, but my statement is to be open about your sexuality. And I don't want people to confuse that. I don't want people to think that just because you claim your sexuality and you claim who you are and you're proud to be who you are, doesn't mean that that's all you are, or that's all you can portray to be. And that's like, it doesn't have to be like that. You can be made up of different things, and you can be positive about different things, but there's always positives and negatives to certain things. But I feel like the positives definitely outweigh the negatives with being open with your sexuality and being open with who you are. You just have to find certain people that support you in what you're doing. Currently, right now, I do a lot with my life. So I have 2 jobs. I work retail and I work at a gym. I'm also taking classes to become a personal trainer because that's always also been a passion of mine. So poetry, I would definitely not say that it's only a hobby, because I do put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into it. But unfortunately, we do live in a society where you need money to do certain things and you need money to survive. So I would say that I have to support myself and support my dream. So I do have 2 jobs, but I only have 2 jobs because I know that if nobody else is gonna get me there, I have to get myself there. I have to provide everything for myself because nobody is just gonna hand it off to me. Like, nobody's gonna give me $200 to rent the venue so that I can host a book event. Nobody's gonna dish out $300 so I can do this or request that. Like, nobody's gonna do that for me. So I know that I have to work to support my dream. But once my dream makes it as far as I want it to make it, I'm going to be 100% and solely into pursuing my poetry. If it wasn't poetry, it would be personal training. I've always been into fitness. I'm very athletic. I've played maybe like 6 to 7 different sports throughout my life. I've played baseball, volleyball, lacrosse, football, basketball is my main sport. I've played a whole bunch of different sports. So I feel like my athletic background helps me in pursuing things that I'm passionate about as far as like personal training. But I wouldn't want to be somewhere where I'm not happy at work, like retail. I fucking hate it. Yeah, I do not want to continue to be there. I only do it for the money, but yeah, I definitely am trying to get my certification for personal training, because if it's not writing, then it's that. R.H. Sin, I've read a few of his books. And I would say that I looked mainly up to the format of the writing, because it's not completely grammatically correct, but it has a lot of emotions in it, and it's written in a way where it gives you a taste of who the writer is and what the writer went through while the book was being made. And as a writer and as a reader, I feel like that's one of the most important things that you can offer to your audience, and that you can offer to other people that either look up to you or are trying to go along the same lines as you. So I would definitely say that reading those books inspired me with my format, with my thinking, with my writing, definitely. And when I was younger, I used to read a lot of Ellen Hopkins, which are regular novels, but the way that she would tell her stories made me feel like I was in the book. And as a reader, that's exciting. You never want to read a book and just be bored with what you're reading, or you never want to read a book and not know what the plot is, not know where the story is going. You always want to keep your reader engaged. So I would definitely say those two authors helped mold me into the writer that I am. Yeah, I would definitely see myself pursuing a business career, further, like aside from poetry. I actually went to school and got my associates for sports and events management. So I took like a whole bunch of business classes, a whole bunch of different marketing classes. So that, I feel like that's another reason why I know how to market my poetry so well and market my book so well, because this is a business world. So I hate working for other people. I literally hate it. So why not create your own money? Why not create your own wealth? So I actually have a few ideas that I have in mind. I have a couple sketch artists that I want to work with to go in that way. I have a couple models that I want to work with. My girlfriend right now, she's in the process of creating her own beauty product. So that's like something that I'm just always going to be a part of, because I genuinely hate working for other people. So I just want to be at a point in my life in the next 10 to 15 years where I'm sitting down and I want to just create wealth out of nothing. Like, I want to be able to sit there and say that I created something where there was nothing, and now I'm making money for it, whether it be with my poetry, whether it be with, my girlfriend and her product, whether it be with the sketch artist. That's why I always continue to network, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know the business connections that you can make. And like I said, it's a business world. So in order to be successful, you have to have certain knowledge and you have to go about things a certain way. And I would definitely 100% pursue a business career and managing and event planning and all of that, because that's where the money is too. So my girlfriend's she's in the process of creating a natural hair beauty product. It's actually called Mask It. You could follow her on Instagram. It's called Mask It by Jade. She's one of those that like really curly hair, but she could never find something that was like solely for her hair. She either had to combine products or she had to find something else, or but a lot of, not just females, like guys too, we don't really have things that are good for our hair, for our natural hair. We have things that like damage our hair, or we have things that say that they're going to help our hair, and truly it's just like the complete opposite. So what my girlfriend's doing is creating a product that you can put in your hair, that's like a face mask that replenishes your hair, that feeds your roots, that defines your curls, and also helps your hair grow. So she's in the process of doing that. Her samples are going to be available at my event, which is pretty fucking dope. We're going to offer, like, I'm pretty sure like some ounces and like a little goodie bag and stuff like that, just so that, because especially in the Bronx, there are a lot of females who are now owning their natural hair, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. So I just want to say that like she's definitely pursuing that, and I'm definitely 100% supporting her. Because that's something that we all need, especially me being a female. I do have curly hair. I used to be so used to putting gel in it and doing all of that, and she got me into, you know, you have to take care of your hair. You have to take care, because I don't want to be fucking bald. I don't want to I do not want to be bald. I do not, you know, I don't want to damage my hair. I want my hair to be, a woman's hair and a man's hair is maybe 40 to 50% of his confidence. If you took half of the men and half of the women and shaved their hair, they would probably lose almost all self-esteem that they have, because it would completely alter the way that they look. And to create a product that helps you embrace your natural hair is pretty awesome. A shout out to Mass Faces. He's definitely dope. Shout out to my brother Creature. And just definitely, females, own your sexuality, own who you are, who you want to be. Any person that thinks they can't do anything, you can do it. Just actually go for it. Don't make excuses. Don't say why you can't do anything. Just go after it, because you never know where you're gonna end up.